Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started his public life. On this very day, the 9th of March, we'll be going through the various years and see the various contributions, revivals, and activities performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, enriching humanity and contributing to humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established the Sri Kailasa nation, the only Hindu ecosystem, enlightenment ecosystem, civilizational nation, which is not only protecting authentic Hinduism from the persecutions that it has been going through for the last thousands of years, but also reviving and making the sacred Hindu sciences available to humanity for each and every one of us to experience their powers and how they can raise us to higher states of consciousness and enrich various dimensions of our lives. So without further delay, let us enter into the first year of today's segment, the year 2006, on the 9th of March. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, continued on the series of addresses and initiations from the Shiva Sutras at the Hindu temple in St. Louis, USA. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism unraveled the deeper meanings behind the 8th verse of the Shiva Sutras and gave a detailed explanation on the importance of devotion and experience. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that first time the devotion and bhakti was given as a spiritual technique for spiritual transformation. It was in the Shiva Sutras. He added that Paramashiva tries to help every type of human beings from wherever they are and tries to lead them to achieve the experience of Shivoham, regardless of where they are at any given moment. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, mapping the various truths revealed by Paramashiva in the Shiva Sutras to each and every one of us so that we can easily relate and practice those techniques in our life in order to raise ourselves to higher states of consciousness, have breakthroughs in our life, and manifest the reality we want to manifest more and more. So let us listen to an excerpt from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on that day, from the discourse, You Are Divinity, the Shiva Sutras.
Namah Shivaya. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's topic is You Are Divinity. Beautiful subject, the message of Shiva Sutra. Message of Shiva Sutra is You Are Divinity. Let us enter into the Sutra and see what Shiva wants to tell us today. With utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath, know the knower. Beautiful sutra. Sometimes I try to avoid the Sanskrit. I just straight away give the English translation and enter into the sutra. With utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath, know the knower, is the translation of 8th sutra. Today we are working on the 8th sutra. Beautiful sutra. Yesterday, Shiva was giving us a technique to work on breath through intellect. People who are intellectual, who are very scientific, logical, for them, yesterday's sutra is a technique. They can understand, work on that. People who are more emotional, who are heart-oriented, who are centered on the heart center, who doesn't care much about logical thinking, for them is giving technique today. Tomorrow is working on the deeper level beings who are people who are being oriented, who are neither intellectual nor emotional, who straight away look into the things, more intuitive. For them, he is giving technique tomorrow. The next sutra gives a technique, beautiful technique, to work in the being level. Now he is giving technique for the people who are heart-oriented, centered on the heart. It's a beautiful technique. With utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath, know the knower. I think first time the devotion, bhakti, is given as a spiritual technique for transformation. Almost all the literatures related to meditation or Vedanta or the philosophical literatures, they always avoid giving place to devotion. There are some Vedantic statements which goes to the extreme of saying devotion is nothing but fantasies. And there are some books which completely demoralizes the experiences of Meera. Not only that, there are so many Vedantic books which condemns devotion. Shiva is not here to contradict or condemn anybody. He is here to help every type of being towards fulfillment. He is the ultimate master. Every type of human being is trying to help from where they are. Wherever they are standing, he goes to their level. From there, he is bringing them to ultimate experience. Shiva, I think he knows what is going to happen in the future. That is why 5,000 years ago he has solved the problem with a single sutra. With this one sutra he has solved the whole problem between the head and the heart. He says, with utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath, know the knower. He says, through the devotion, you can experience the ultimate enlightenment. Knowing the knower is the ultimate experience according to Vedanta. He says, through utmost devotion, with utmost devotion, center on the two junctions of breath, know the knower. Let's explain.
We're now moving on to the 9th of March 2007. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spoke that wisdom is often thought as that meant for the aged. All types of miseries happen only because wisdom did not happen at the right age. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that wisdom is the first thing that needs to be imparted to a child by society, then automatically the child becomes equipped to handle anything in life. Even if misery happens, it will be out of a deep understanding and not out of deep ignorance. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further expounded on the Jain Sutras, which is pure wisdom transcending time and age. Let's now hear the excerpts from the Jain Sutras.
नमो अर्हन्तानं नमो सिद्धानं नमो आयर्यानं नमो वज्रायानं नमो लोये सव्वसाहूनं एषो पञ्चनमक्कारो सव्वपावप्पनाशनो मङ्गलानां च सवेसिं पदमं हवै मङ्गलम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Before entering into the today's subject, the power of wisdom, today's subject is power of wisdom. Just few points to complete yesterday's discourse, and it's like a introduction for all the people who have joined today. Yesterday's subject was true knowledge. Not only about true knowledge, the knowledge to find out the truth. Only two things I want to add. Whatever I spoke yesterday, because there was no time, I left two sutras or two ideas to be explained today. First important thing, truth is something which does not create fear, greed or guilt in you. And the same way, truth is something which creates complete ease feeling, complete easiness with your inner self and your day-to-day life. Above all, an important thing, it makes you conscious, more and more aware. As a byproduct, bliss happens around you. You radiate ananda. Yesterday I was telling, we will see the scale. You are okay with the sound? We will see how to find whether something is truthful or not. Truth is not just speaking what you know as a fact. No. That's only one dimension of truth. You can be truthful but undishonest. You can be truthful and dishonest. Yesterday I told you the story of how Dharma.
Let us now enter into the year 2011. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded and shed light on the 7th Sutra of the first chapter, section 1 of the Brahma Sutras. In this video, he took everyone into the next level of understanding about the origin of existence. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained what happens exactly in the human brain when a deep understanding happens, and the correlation between understanding, depression, and the flow of the divine nectar, in Sanskrit called Amrita. The Brahma Sutra also created for all human beings, as all human beings have a logical side that can be a doorway to enlightenment through the right understanding. So let us listen to an excerpt from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the Brahma Sutras, the science of liberation.
If the logic is pure diamond, I can say Brahma Sutra is jewel made out of pure diamond stone without adding any metal. It is not jewel studded with diamond stones, it is made out of diamond stone. Huge diamond stone, just it has been drilled, carved and made into a jewel. That's a description of Brahma Sutra. Understand, this whole thing is psychodrama. If you feel you are poor, you will feel the rich man is greater than you. If you feel you are powerless, you will feel the powerful man is greater than you. So when you become rich, who is liberated from poverty? The person who feels himself as poor, that identity is liberated from poverty. When you become powerful, the identity which feels you are powerless is liberated from powerlessness. If you feel you are ignorant, during enlightenment, The identity which feels it is ignorant is liberated from ignorance. But the pradhana itself is neither bound nor liberated. That is why when you are enlightened, you don't feel something new has happened in you. I tell you, I never felt something new has happened in me. I only felt I had something which was lost. It's like I tell you exactly what happens, what you feel. When you become 25, suddenly one day if you see all the toys with which you played, and you feel, oh God, these toys meant so much for me at the young age. It was almost like my life. But now they don't mean anything to me. They neither bind me nor liberate me. You think at the age of 25 the toys are giving you liberation? You are beyond the liberation granted by toys. Same way, I suddenly felt I am beyond the liberation granted by the ignorance. I just felt, you are not even qualified to give liberation to me, get lost. If you have some mud toys, with which you played in the young age, for which you are ready to even kick your mother, ready to give up anything else except the toys, at the age of 25 you look at the toys, do you say, no, I was bound by you at some time, please give me liberation. No, I think I don't want to get caught with you again at all. No, I am afraid I may get interested in you after 3-4 years. Please liberate me. I should go and sit and listen to some sutra which says Toy Brahma Sutra, which teaches me how to disconnect yourself from toy. Do not remember the toys. Do not see the toys. Do not hear about them. Keep them away from the country where you are living, or move them out of the country. No. Even if the toys suddenly become alive and say, oh my son, don't worry, I give you the liberation. You are liberated from me. What are you going to say? Get lost. Who cares for the liberation you give? That's what exactly I felt. At the age of 22, 2000, suddenly I felt, even if the Maya, the ignorance, appears in front of me and says, oh my son, I liberate you. Get lost, who cares? I felt the ignorance and bondage which can be added by the illusion and delusion has not only disappeared from my inner space, it has just does not make any sense anymore.
Yes, we are now moving on to the 9th of March 2012. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted a Q&A session, answering the questions of each and every one who were attending that day's presidential address. One delegate asked a question on what is the difference between an enlightened master and incarnation, to which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism answered that an enlightened master is a person who has saved himself and may be able to save a few people who come in his breathing space. He is like a boat. Incarnation is like a bridge. The enlightened master is like a boat. He can help few people to cross from this shore to that shore. But an incarnation is like a bridge. Millions, billions can just cross from this shore to that shore. He leads the whole universe, whole world to the next level of consciousness. And below we can see the pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the presidential address in the Adi Kailasa. Let us now see an excerpt from this satsang where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded on the difference between an enlightened master and incarnation.
जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं
Paramahamsa Nithyananda is a rare living incarnation, a yogi by birth. He has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books.
I am not father and mother of you. I am father and mother of your possibility. I cannot reject your love. It is so beautiful, even though mixed with a lot of ignorance and innocence. When a cub brings grass to the lion, lion cannot eat the grass. It will be laughing inside, but it cannot reject the grass because it is mixed with the possibility of you. I am your father and mother. I cannot reject your love. Same way, I cannot accept it. If I accept your love, you will accept you as you are now, which is not the right thing. You will not look up and grow into your possibility. Understand? So I need to accept your love, but I need to constantly remind you, you need to become your possibility. I am beloved of your possibility, not you. Whenever you expand towards your possibility, you will always see me just taking you to my heart as a mother, father, friend, beloved, and more. Whenever you try to shrink me to your level, see, first of all, there is no you and me. Once you become Ashramite, there is only one thing. The relationship between you and me lives through you. If the relationship is flowering, you are joyful. If that relationship is shrinking, you are in pain. I tell you, there is no you actually. Of course, long before there is no me, I have disappeared. The moment you become Ashramite, you are also disappearing. So there is no you and me. Then what is living in you? The relationship between you and me is only living in you. If the relationship is flowering, you are happy. If it is not flowering, you are suffering. But there is no separate you. Whenever you raise to the level of your possibility, the relationship becomes very sweet and beautiful. Whenever you go down, shrink from your possibility, relationship becomes bitter. Understand that bitterness goes to your core. Whether my love or my anger goes to your core. A smile or staring goes to your core. My smile can make your very being flower, your root flower. When I stare, your very gut will shiver. Try your best to avoid, what is there? It's okay, it is usual. My staring will never be usual. My love will never be usual. It is alive, living. You might have had 10,000 hugs, but 10,001 hug will be new and fresh and alive. I might have stared at you 1 lakh times, but 1,01,000 staring will be fresh, alive and shivering, frightening. Understand, I have to do a job of neither rejecting you nor accepting you. Human being cannot do this job. Either he falls in love or hates. That's all. Here, I have to completely keep you in my heart. and just cutting and doing the surgery, removing the cancer, removing the tumor. I cannot reject your love and I cannot accept it. Heart love always turns into anger. Your love is too hot. The heart feeling of security always turns as a deep insecurity. Means the heart fear. If I have all this, only then it is security. Security with legs always will become handicapped. Love which is heart will always become hatred.
Let us enter now into the next year, the year 2013. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the 21st day of the Inner Awakening program, which is also the final day of the Inner Awakening. The day began with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presiding over the morning's Nithyananda Yoga, after which he conducted the presidential address and the other sessions for the Inner Awakening. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism making himself available and conducting processes and sessions with the participants to finalize their experience of inner awakening and to prepare them to bring everything that they experienced during the inner awakening to their life, to continue to allow these seeds, these initiations, these darshans to continue to blossom in them and allow the conscious breakthrough to continuously happen.
We are now moving on. We are now moving on to the 9th of March 2014. On this day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that the surefire way to completion was to practice friendliness. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that when we carry friendliness, we can automatically start operating from the space of completion. Because when we decide to be friendly, we will not carry any hangover of a person or place. Instead, we will choose to carry a positive self-fulfilling prophecy about the person, creating a positive outcome. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further shared that anything which makes us decide to live life positively towards the whole life is completion. Here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in Haridwar conducting the Inner Awakening program and with many of the various different leaders and delegates from the sacred city. Let us now see the various happenings and the excerpt from the satsang, which the title is Friendliness is the Essence of Life.
Understand, when there is a pot full of nectar, whether you pour it this way or that way, you put your hand and drink it, or you put your mouth directly and drink it, or you break the pot, only nectar will come out. Same way, when you carry the space of completion with whoever you come in contact in whatever form, you will ooze friendliness. You will radiate friendliness. Yesterday in the session I was expanding on different bhavas. Like Matrubhava, Dasabhava, Sakabhava, means the attitude you have towards the mother, attitude you have towards the Lord, Master, attitude you have towards the friend, and Vatsalya Bhava, attitude you have towards a child, various bhavas. Somebody asked me, can there be friendliness between husband and wife? Please understand, in any bhava, juice is friendliness. Mother and son becomes good mother and son when there is a friendliness between both of them. Father and son become good father and son when there is a friendliness between both of them. Husband and wife become great couples when there is a friendliness between both of them. Lord and the servant, master and the disciples, they become great master and disciple when there is a friendliness between them.
Yes. Let us now move into the year 2015. On that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, explained that when we understand that everything exists in our consciousness and that we exist in everything, then we will achieve the high-end life. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that until this cognition matures in us, he will be protecting us. Running on parallel, the Kailasa in the Northwest Yoga Conference and represented the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further shared that he gave blessings to the Kailasas in Singapore Adinam for their Gurupa program and to all the cities that connected on that day through two-way video conference, such as Chennai, Madurai, Tirunelveli, Hosur, and other cities. So we can have a quick glimpse of the other activities which took place on the year 2015 on the 9th of March.
Understand? By you denying, you are the loser. Same way, the earlier you catch this truth that everything exists in your consciousness, you exist in everything, your life will become high-end life. The earlier you catch it, better your life will become, more matured your life will become. Only when you understand the person you are searching for you is you, you will be full, he will be full, it will be completion, from completion to completion. That's the next level of cognition. A guru will tell, everything is consciousness, you exist in everything, everything exists in you. This is the truth. You don't even need to wait for this truth, this cognition to be matured in you. Go and face the challenges till it becomes matured in you. I will protect you and see to it how this cognition responds to me. It will respond the same way to you. Once it becomes matured, it will automatically respond to you in the same way. Till it becomes matured, I am there to protect you and save you. Go and do it. This is Nithyananda way of interpretation. That is what I am doing in Shivoham. Yes, this is the truth. The cognition has to become matured in you. All this is true. But till then also you don't need to wait. I have the veto power and right to protect you when you are standing and working with this truth. Go and do it. I'll be there. Singapore. Blessings to Balavidyalaya temple, children's temple. My blessings to all the kids. How I played with the deities and became Nithyananda. Same way I bless all you guys. You will all play with deities and become Nithyananda. Blessings to all you guys. Blessings to all you guys. Blessings. Adi, I accepted your Aarti. And all the kids. Blessings to all the kids. We will start thousands and thousands of children's temple. Blessings. And Mahadeva and Devi and me, all of us will be present and bless all the kids who play with us. Seattle, blessings to Northwest Yoga Conference, my blessings. Whoever you enrich, all of them will have the benefit of yoga, Kalpataru and Kriya. Blessings.
We are now moving on to the 9th of March 2017. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism organized and conducted the Inner Awakening Convention Day 12 and the Sadashivoham Convention Day 1. On that day, the participants of the Inner Awakening and Sadashivoham Conventions together started the day with a yoga session. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began the session by blessing the participants with the darshan of Paramashiva. Later that day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over the Manifesting Shakti's demo session, where the participants demonstrated the powers of blindfold reading and moving objects through the third eye. Below we can see the pictures of the live darshan of which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave to all the Mahasadashivoham and the Inner Awakening participants, and also the individual darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism attending to each and every one of the participants.
Moving into the year 2018, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Nitya Dhyan Yoga Convention at the Bangalore Adinam and initiated on this day hundreds of delegates into the Shiva Diksha. Today was the day 1 of the Nityananda Dhyan Yoga program, a convention designed to unlock the 7 chakras, which include several enriching activities. On that day, the acharyas trained by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led his delegates through a beautiful guided meditation as a preparation to make the reasonless gratitude flower in each and every one before the power darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared revelations about biology, the chemistry, and the physics of the Vedic tradition and revealed some of his groundbreaking insights on the E=mc². The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also shared that the truth of intensity is continuity, which can be understood much easier by a person who is a vegetarian, and also explained how the Nirahara Samyama increases everyone's ability to retain these dhyana slokas. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, expanding on the various dimensions of truths on this address, inviting each and everyone to go on Nityanandapedia on this day, 9th of March 2018, and see the address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
We are now moving on to the 9th of March 2020. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principle that the shortcut for the mind to achieve Paramashivatva. During the everyday life public address, the Nithyananda Satsang, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared more insights about Tyaga as the shortcut to achieve Paramashivatva. Further, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that Tyaga is the most cunning strategy to achieve the ultimate because it removes the suffocation in every level. Today, the Kailasa nation celebrated the 9th day of the Vijayotsavam. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism declared that he will install the power of Tyaga through the grace of Paramashiva, the blessings of Mahakala Bhairava in the process, and also carried out a special initiation of Mahavakya and Vishesha Diksha.
Entering now into the final year, the year 2021. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over the 8th day of the Vijayosavam celebration of all victories of Hinduism. Devi Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti gracing all as Devi Meenakshi. Additionally, the deity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism graced all as Kapala Bhairava and Mahakala Bhairava in their respective Sarvalankaras. Today was also the 3rd day of the Paramashivoham Level. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism further shared the scriptural references which clarify that the 28 agamas stem directly from Paramashiva himself, and as such, he gave the Satra Pramana as a response to all the anti-Hindus who unsuccessfully attempted to intellectually criticize the great enlightened beings. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blessing on various occasions as many happenings took place on this very day, and ultimately expanding on how anti-Hindus constantly try to intellectually criticize the words of enlightened masters and incarnations at an intellectual level. So with this, we come to the end of today's segment. We thank each and everyone for having spent the time with us. We invite you to come for the next program to see the next year, the 10th of March, throughout the years. So we invite you to come for that. So we thank you again very much for having spent the time with us. We'll now be moving to the next part of today's segment, which will be the initiation by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So stay tuned. We're moving into the next segment in a few moments. Nithyananda.
Paramashiva's message, directly from
Kailasa,
Kailasa.
the good God country.
Listen.
Hinduism has something great to offer. Hindu God Paramashiva is good.
Initiation.
We love him not just because he gave us what we want, but